Welcome to the show designed to give you crypto confidence. Created by the marketing communications specialists at Blocksparks, we want to help you learn about cryptocurrency and blockchain in a safe and friendly place. Because we believe this stuff is far too exciting to leave it to the geeks. Come and join us to learn more. Welcome to this special episode of the Crypto Confidence Podcast. And it's an episode in which we celebrate books and everything we love about books. We'll be talking about some books specifically about crypto and blockchain. We'll also be learning about some books which have inspired people to work in this field, which may be a little bit more tangentially related. But that's the amazing thing about books. The author's words on the page can spark things within your own minds, which maybe they didn't even intend or expect. But that's what's so powerful about the transmission of knowledge in this way. And it's funny because on this show, we talk about the latest emergent technology, and there are so many ways to share and transmit information in the world. Books are one of the oldest known to man. Probably the first thing that happened beyond oral traditions was when we learned to write things down in order to pass information from one person to another. And these days, we can get information from such a wide range of sources. Indeed, I'd argue that in this space, it's vital to stay up to date on what's happening, to get information from a range of different places, including some really up-to-date stuff from Medium and Twitter. There are podcasts like ours and many other fine examples, lots of articles published regularly. But there's something about a book. I don't know if it's just me, but I think the time it takes to research and write and publish a book means that the information therein is likely to be of a certain quite intense quality, and it tends to be the distilled wisdom of lots of different ideas that people have really thought about and boiled down to its essence. And books tend to also contain more evergreen, lasting, principled kind of information rather than the latest news. So amongst the matrix of all the other more ephemeral stuff, I really believe in books, and I spend far too much time and money acquiring, reading, enjoying books. So if you're anything like me, I hope you'll appreciate the content that's coming up in this episode. Now, we're publishing it this weekend because in many parts of the world we're celebrating World Book Day. World Book Day was originally set to be April the 23rd, which was the day William Shakespeare died. Now, Shakespeare obviously didn't write much about blockchain and crypto, though I'm sure he'd have gotten round to it eventually. In the UK, World Book Day is celebrated a month earlier in March. I think that was so it didn't clash with Easter holidays or something, because it's wonderfully celebrated through schools, and all the children go to school with Harry Potter glasses drawn on, or at least they did when my daughters were little. I think you can celebrate books and their content at any time of the year, any time of the day or night. So I hope you'll enjoy the clips that are coming up, and it definitely included some recommendations for me to add to my own ever-growing reading list. Now, just a quick word about the quality of the clips you're going to hear. This was all sent in to us by people who've been part of the show before, who are friends of the show, who are listeners to the show. It's fantastic to have so many diverse voices and ideas and contributions here. However, I must apologise that the audio quality isn't that which we normally strive to bring you on the Crypto Confidence show when we have a single interviewee recorded in a single take. So please try and bear with me and see past or listen past the issues of the audio quality in order to appreciate the quality of the content and the ideas being shared with you, because I honestly think you'll find that it's worth it. We start off with a book being offered to you as a gift by a friend of the show, and I really hope you enjoy listening to all the rest of these. Please do send us your feedback. We have an audio link where you can send us a clip yourself. We'll put that into the show notes. You can email us, you can tweet us, you can join our Facebook community, the Crypto Confidence community, to tell us about the books that you've enjoyed or what's inspired you on your journey. Please tell us if any of the following inspires you to read any of the books, just as we're going to as well here at Crypto Confidence. So enjoy.
Hello, Maya. It's so lovely to speak with you again. Thank you so much for inviting me on this brilliant podcast. So my book is called Make Crypto Easy, and I wrote it to do just that. And I started becoming involved some time back now in crypto, really to counter all of the misinformation, the frauds, the scams, and so on. And that's why I started speaking publicly, writing, teaching, mentoring people about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and post-blockchain. So I wrote Make Crypto Easy to provide a step-by-step guide so that you understand what you need to do, how you need to do it, why you need to do it, and can really follow the steps to get more deeply involved in crypto. So whether you're brand new or whether you've been involved for some time, there is such a lot here, including my red flags list. And I wrote the red flags list because of all of the bad guys that I was coming across. And people will now send me information to put in the red flags list. So there's a live link to that inside Make Crypto Easy, and the reasons why they're on the red flags list as well, not just what I say, but perhaps links to evidence of why you don't want to be involved in that particular entity. And really, I did that because my dad's always said the secret is about getting good people around you, and you want to be careful if you're going to invest your time, your attention, your money. And so before you do any of your own due diligence, it's easiest to look at the red flags list, see if such and such organization is there, and if so, what's said about it. And if they're not there, it doesn't mean that it's perfectly fine. But it does mean it's worth you doing your due diligence on, perhaps. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth you doing that. So you might save yourself a whole heap of time and heartache potentially. But Make Crypto Easy is designed to first and foremost be about security, your personal security. So it's got some very key tips about security and how to stay safe, because let's face it, there is no point getting increased growth wealth if you then turn around and lose it all, or if you then become very vulnerable, for example. So I've just been involved with helping somebody recover some crypto from a long way back, which has been worth considerably more now than when he started, and he'd lost that money. So it's important to do the right thing. But if you are in a situation where you've lost access to your crypto, please get the book anyway. Send me a message. My details are there, and I can help you take steps to recover your crypto. So that's Make Crypto Easy. The link is www.makecryptoeasy.com.
And to make things even easier for you to download Angela's book, we'll put the link in our show notes for you so you can grab it directly from here. Really kind and generous of Angela to share this book with our listeners for free, and such important ground that it covers, particularly as regards keeping yourself safe from all the scams and deceptions that are out there. Crypto is still the Wild West in so many ways, and we really do have to have our wits about us as we explore this territory and grow our crypto confidence. Next up, we have John Boatman from the UK. John has been a long-time supporter of this show and was in fact one of the first people to leave us a review on iTunes. So if you feel so moved after hearing John's excellent book recommendations, then we would really, really appreciate it if you wanted to do the same and leave us a rating or a review, or both, via your podcast application of choice. Anyway, over to John now with a couple of really excellent book choices. I can also recommend them both personally.
Hello, it's John Boatman from the southwest of England, just leaving a couple of book recommendations for Maya and the Crypto Confidence podcast team. I would definitely recommend Blockchain Revolution by Don and Alex Tapscott. Excellent book. It's been updated recently, talking about crypto assets, smart contracts, blockchain in business. And also, I learned about blockchain by listening to Don Tapscott's TED Talk a few years ago, and some of the information that the Tapscotts have put out about blockchain has been invaluable to me. I just love finding out more about blockchain technology and emerging technology being used within business as a tool to make business more efficient. It's not the answer to everything, but it's certainly revolutionary. So Blockchain Revolution would be my recommendation, and a quick sneaky second recommendation, which is the Blockchain Standard, talking about the history really of money and the gold standard. Certainly worth checking out. Take care. Bye-bye.
And next up, another recommendation for the amazing Bitcoin Standard by Saifdina Moose from a very different part of the world. Have a listen to this.
Greetings, my name is Victoria McKenna, representing Kenya, Africa. My favorite book so far has been The Bitcoin Standard by Saifdina Moose. I love it because it talks about economics and finance and how we have evolved through using money. It states that Bitcoin has the digital nature in such a way that it makes it sellable in space in a way never seen with any other forms of money. The divisibility of Bitcoin into 100 million satoshis makes it sellable in scale. Bitcoin has been able to eliminate the intermediary control and the near impossibility of any authority debasing or confiscating it renders it free of the main drawbacks of government money. At the end of it all, I feel that the book presents a tremendous effort on how Bitcoin is changing the technology, and there's a leap forward on the monetary solution to the indirect exchange problem that we face nowadays. And perhaps it's a significant move from the cattle and salt that we used to do long time ago to the gold and silver. And now I think that Bitcoin will be the standard form of money that is used. Thank you.
I have to give yet another vote for this book, actually. It came out last year, I believe. I remember pre-ordering it on audiobook because I like to listen to a lot of non-fiction books when I'm out and about walking and actually getting away from my desk briefly. And this one I just found so insightful. It was one of the things that really helped the penny drop for me, or the Satoshi drop, in terms of understanding Bitcoin as true hard currency as opposed to any other form of electronic payment, and why Bitcoin has more in common with cash or gold or other commodities than it does with the kind of electronic money that we're used to. So I think you'll find this really interesting if you want to check this one out. It doesn't require any prior knowledge. For me, it also taught me a lot about economics and Austrian economic theory, and really helped give language and shape to a number of ideas that were a little bit woolly in my mind. So I definitely recommend it highly and would love to know what you think. Next up, a book about Bitcoin which I haven't read, but one which is definitely going on my ever-growing to read or to listen to list.
Hello, my name is Alice Hlitkova, and I'm the founder of New Economies Limited, a London-based media company for the blockchain industry. My favorite read is the book Blockchain in Practice, written by my co-founder Lucas Cervini. What inspired me to enter the blockchain industry is the few women who are in the space blazing the trail. We are the fish from a pond swimming in the river. The current is strong and we are fighting it, but as much as my mentor says, stop fighting it and flow. From the flow comes the creativity the industry requires to reach the levels of mass adoption that we all envision. What I recommend to others is to identify one or two unique value propositions and sticking with them. Welcome counsel, understand criticism, and lead by example. Thank you.
Wise words there from Alice, and definitely one I'm going to check out. Now, next up, a voice you may remember from an early episode of Crypto Confidence. It's Blockspark's very own Diana Berryman. And I can't believe we've got this far into a podcast about books and not mentioned Andreas Antonopoulos yet, because, Andreas, we have all learned so much from you. Let's put that right immediately. Here's Diana.
Hello, Crypto Confidence listeners. I'm Diana Berryman, and if you haven't come across me before, I'm the head of social media for Blocksparks. Learning about crypto and blockchain has been a steep learning curve for me and many others, I'm sure. But we in Blocksparks are all about education, so I wanted to recommend a book that's both extremely informative and easy to follow. So my book of choice is The Internet of Money by Andreas Antonopoulos. This book approached the subject of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies from a slightly different angle than some of the others I've read. Andreas explains things in a way that could be easily understood even by the least techie of us, which was me included at the beginning of this journey. So it means you can read it all the way to the end and feel accomplished and educated, rather than just glazing over and not being able to read it because of all the technical jargon that's involved, as some books do have. So Andreas is a tech guy, but his explanation of the technical makes his writing very consumable. In The Internet of Money, Andreas explains what the future of money will be, and he makes it sound really exciting and entirely possible, which of course is so important for cryptocurrency adoption, and to make it more mainstream, and so that people actually understand it rather than being frightened of it. This book, The Internet of Money, is actually his second book. The first book was Mastering Bitcoin, but if you're a complete novice in the crypto world, I'd highly recommend that you start with The Internet of Money. It's a much less technical book, and it's part 1 of 2 in the series of the Internet of Money books as well. So start with the Internet of Money, volume 1, and then carry on with the Internet of Money volume 2. And then, of course, you'll be an expert and you can carry on to mastering Bitcoin then. I hope you enjoy the book. Do let us know at the Crypto Confidence podcast if you enjoy it. So there you go. Thank you very much.
I love Diana's advice there that you're going to jump straight from the Internet of Money to mastering Bitcoin. For me, there's quite a big gap in the middle, but don't worry, there are so many excellent books and references out there for you. And Andreas Antonopoulos' YouTube channel contains a great many of the talks from which the Internet of Money volumes 1 and 2 were transcribed. I think that was probably pretty much my own entry point into understanding crypto when I had to learn about it quickly a couple of years ago for a short-term freelance writing gig. And it wasn't really until I came across Andreas's stuff that I really started to think, wow, I get this, and this is going to change the world. So a really good place to start. Internet of Money, Volume 1, Volume 2, just dive straight in. You'll love it. But if Amos and Antonopoulos help us understand about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we do have to remember that these things do not take place in a vacuum. They happen within business, within society, within culture, and there are lots of other books that can inspire us to learn about that context and be better at building the businesses that we're creating and in understanding the changes going on in the world around us. We've got a couple of recommendations coming up now which I think you're going to love. One is from Felicity Feynman, who joined us on the podcast a couple of months ago to talk about crypto mining. She's got a great suggestion here. It really resonated for me, and another one going on my personal list.
Hi, Maya. This is Felicity Feynman, formerly from Argo, the crypto cloud mining company, currently working as an independent contractor. My book recommendation actually isn't about crypto specifically, but I think it really applies. It's a book called Crossing the Chasm by Geoffrey Moore, and I found it really interesting because the chasm, according to Geoffrey Moore, is the distance between the early adopters of a technology and those first mainstream users. So I find it really relevant to anyone who's trying to understand mass adoption in cryptocurrency. That would be my recommendation. Can't wait to hear what everyone else recommends.
Wasn't that intriguing? Definitely one that I'm going to check out and possibly recommend to some of the really emergent projects that we're working with at BlockSparks, because I think understanding that gap between the idea and mass adoption is so fundamental. Now, one project we worked with recently, which has definitely crossed the chasm, was Local CoinSwap, who launched their decentralized exchange earlier this year. We spoke to Nathan Worsley in a February episode, who really helped us all understand decentralization and decentralized peer-to-peer trading in a lot more detail. Nathan works with crypto all the time, so his recommendation for inspiring reading goes off on a very different tangent. I hope you like what he has to share with you.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I'm the Chief Technical Officer and co-founder of the exchange Local CoinSwap. I'm dropping in to talk about book recommendations. Now, I love reading and I read every day, so it's really hard to pick my favorite because I've read a lot of great books before. And actually, this is quite hard to admit to the wider world, but I've never actually read any books specifically on cryptocurrency. The reason is that I need to relax before I sleep, and I spend the entire day working in crypto. So I like to read something unrelated to take my mind off the day and help me get to sleep. But if there was one book that I'd recommend that really impacted my life, it's If This Is a Man by Primo Levi. Primo Levi was a Jewish anti-fascist fighter in the Italian resistance during World War II, and he was captured and then imprisoned in the Auschwitz concentration camp for a little over 11 months. He survived the camps despite coming close to death many times and was eventually liberated, but his journey didn't end there. And the second part of his book details his travels back across Europe to try and reunite with his family as he witnesses the devastation of the countries he once knew, and he struggles to come to grips with a world that just doesn't seem to care that much about the tragedies of what's happened. But the thing that's so great about this book is the insight into the way Primo Levi views the world. He has this stoic and almost humorous attitude that he never loses, even in the darkest of his experiences. One quote that I find really insightful from Primo is the following: "Sooner or later in life, everyone discovers that perfect happiness is unrealizable, but there are few who pause to consider the antithesis, that perfect unhappiness is equally unobtainable. The obstacles preventing the realization of both of these extreme states are of the same nature. They derive from our human condition, which is opposed to everything infinite." So basically he's saying it sucks that we can't have perfect happiness. There's always that downside to life, but the upside is that we can't have perfect misery. So no matter how bad our situation is, no matter what kind of tragedy we're facing, no matter what obstacle is in front of us, there's always a reason to be grateful, and there's always something to hold on to. And I mean, I've never experienced the kind of hardship that he has, but that quote kind of stuck with me and really got me through a lot of difficult places in my life.
Okay, now I did not expect us to be going down these kind of rabbit holes when we're talking about books that have inspired crypto and blockchain enlightenment, but that really was quite spine-tingling, and another one definitely going on my list. Now have a listen to Kyle, who's also talking about ethical issues that we really maybe didn't expect to come up, but it's really fascinating.
Hello, my name is Kyle Graydon, and I work in the distributed computing and cooperative space. A book that has inspired me is People Over Profit by Dale Partridge. The premise of this book is that socially conscious business models are imminent and also more profitable in the long run. And when I think about how this could be applied to the blockchain and crypto space, I think the industry overall will only succeed if projects are harnessing the transformational power of distributed technology to benefit people rather than focusing on making short-term profits by capitalizing on the hype of blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
So that was yet another new one for me. There's always new things to learn and new things to read, which is absolutely fantastic and fascinating. And next we're going to hear Sean McBride talking about an author I really love, actually. And I've read all of his books, but let's hear from Sean about his favourite.
Hi there, it's the Sean McBride. I'm the host of the Future Done Right show on YouTube, and I am an attorney by training, and I spend a lot of time on business strategy. I wanted to recommend the book Sapiens by Yuval Harari as a great read about future of tech, future of business. Sapiens, for those that aren't as familiar, is a book about the evolution of man and why our particular species of human outlived and came to dominate this planet versus the other species of humans. And as you get into Yuval Harari's work, both in Sapiens and in other pieces that he's done, he talks about how technology innovation has caused social change throughout the entire human experience. So we're now talking about tens of thousands of years of technology evolution. Today's technology evolution is not unlike some of the others. And Harari challenges us to think about the collateral impacts, the lifestyle impacts, and what it might mean for all of us as technology continues to roll out and develop within business. So it's a thoughtful analysis of where we are, where we're headed to, And it challenges you to stop and think about the real impacts on human beings, of what we're doing. So as we look at technology, blockchain, cryptocurrency, other rollouts in the future of business, it's critical that we think in terms of what is the impact on us, on our future generations, and overall society. It also makes us think about looking at technology innovations from a societal level rather than from an individual level where technology is rolled out and then society is affected. Perhaps we should be looking at the effects of technology from a society level and making conscious choices about what technology we want and what we don't want and how we want to use it. So I challenge you to think about it, read the book. It will change your thinking about the various things you're doing in technology and what you think about the future of business and society.
Well, I can leave you with no finer challenge than to read all of the books that we've talked about so far. And when you finish Sapiens by Harari, then carry straight on to Deus, which was the follow-up, and his most recent book, Lessons for the 21st Century, which I think came out towards the end of last year. That was actually quite chilling in lots of ways, with its thoughts about the way that technology is being used. Technology itself might be neutral, but people certainly are not, and the way that different people are being manipulated by the use of different kinds of technology really is an awful lot to think about. The ethical context in which we work, in which we try and bring new technologies to the world, they can be done in good and ethical ways or in very different ways. So there really is a great deal to consider if we do want to be conscious and deliberate about how we use these things. Here's an unusual contribution, looking at a subject which I don't know anything about, which is blockchain and mental health. Now, Mario recommends a couple of books to us at the end of this clip, and I think I'm also very curious to find out a little bit more about what it is that Mario is working on, this project. So I'm going to be trying to get back in touch with him, and hopefully he will be able to join us for a future episode. In the meantime, here's a little flavour of Mario's journey into blockchain and crypto, ending up with yet a couple more books to add to your reading list.
Hello, my name is Mario Butler Chapman. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a former athlete and currently the founder and CEO of Progressive Counseling Services located in Atlanta, Georgia, where we provide outpatient mental health therapy to adults and children. I have a background in healthcare management. I completed the master's program in healthcare management at Walden University in 2007. I'm the founder of Progressive Counseling in 2008. And since 2008, I've had the pleasure of successfully receiving 3 full accreditations from CARF International, which is the highest accrediting body for mental health in U.S., Europe, and Canada. I first learned about the blockchain in 2016 from a high school friend and business partner that currently lives in Hangzhou, China. We were considering to take the route of an ICO, which is initial coin offering, to do a raise for a project that we teamed up in 2015. So as I continued to do my research in creating a token on the Ethereum platform, I came across a former IBM employee by the name of Ian Balina on YouTube. Mr. Balina is currently a full-time investor in blockchain projects and is well known for his token metrics and analytic breakdown of new projects. By watching Mr. Balina's research gave me a great opportunity to learn about investing in the technology. There were thousands of dApp, decentralized app projects that he was more focused on and infrastructure projects. And at the time, this was around the beginning of 2017. We were able to break down companies' white papers and separate the fraudulent companies from the legit companies using the end review process. This led me to also become an investor in multiple projects such as, and these were infrastructure projects, such as Dragon Chain, EOS, which is a decentralized app platform, and then QuantStamp, which is an auditing tool for any project that is, creating a infrastructure or any type of project on the blockchain. Currently, I'm working on my own project and dApp to bring to the blockchain and in the healthcare industry, specifically in mental health. A few books that I'm reading are Blockchain and Healthcare by David Metcalf and The Power of Blockchain for Healthcare by Peter Nicol.
Now we have a blast from the past coming up for you. Those of you who've been with us since the early days or can cast your mind back to episode 6, it was actually one of the first interviews that we did on the show. We were joined by Matthew Aaron from the Crypto 101 podcast. At that time, they had just released Johnny's Guide to Cryptocurrency. The book is doing really well and has helped a great many people take their first steps in this brave new world. So over to Matthew.
Hey everyone. This is Matthew Aaron of Crypto 101. I want to let you know about Johnny's Guide to Cryptocurrency. Johnny's Guide is a great story about getting into cryptocurrency, avoiding FOMO, and avoiding the FUD, and making your own decisions by doing your own research. It has great definitions so you can learn about the basics of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology to get a heads up into getting into and getting involved in this industry. So pick up Crypto 101's Johnny's Guide to Cryptocurrency.
And the final clip we want to share with you is the perfect conclusion to this special episode because it's a book about authors and the blockchain. Now, I know it's really exciting, the potential for blockchain payments to revolutionize the way in which creative people are paid royalties for what they bring to the world in a very transparent and fair and also immediate way. So have a listen to Suki Jutla, and she also tells you where you can download this book for free. So just like me, you'll be adding it to your reading list. Bye for now.
Hi. My name is Suki Jutla, and I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer for Market Orders. What really got me interested in the blockchain and crypto world was a few years ago when I was asked to look into how authors and creative entrepreneurs could use blockchain as part of their business models. This led me to actually write a book called Authors and the Blockchain. You can download it for free at the Alliance of Independent Authors, and it explains how blockchain could actually change publishing and also increase author income. It's a free white paper, so please do go ahead and download it and educate yourself and really try to understand how authors, creative entrepreneurs, and musicians can now create a business model that is author-centric and actually makes sure that the value is always going to be generated and goes back to whoever created the actual product. So blockchain is really democratizing the entire landscape and making sure that the value creators are now getting compensated and getting the value that they deserve.
Please come and join us in our new Facebook community, a safe place where there are no silly questions, at least if they're about blockchain and crypto. No investment advice either, just conversation and learning together. You'll find the link in your show notes, and we really look forward to chatting with you there. Thanks for listening to Crypto Confidence. If you like what you hear, please do consider leaving us a review via your favourite podcasting app and joining the conversation online in whichever way you prefer. Full contact details are in the show notes for this episode. And remember, nothing in this podcast or our related social media, nor anything else published by Blocksparks OU at any location, is intended as financial, investment or trading advice. Everything we write or say represents our personal opinions for your information, education and entertainment only. You should not make any decisions based on anything we share with you, not without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with appropriate professional advisors. Crypto Confidence is all about being smart and informed and making the right choices for you.